Hey YouTube, this is Mia Tate. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to do the review for Heart and Hustle Houston, Season 2, Episode 2. So, a lot went on in this episode. We picked up where we left off, where Labrina is talking to Josh. Labrina and her husband are talking to Josh about he and Alana's um, divorce or their issues in their marriage. And like I said last episode, I felt that Labrina was really questioning him down. Like felt that Will, who is Labrina's husband, he and Josh are friends. They should have had the conversation. Yet she was being Labrina was a whole attorney. You could have sworn you could have sworn Josh was on the stand because baby, when I tell you she was a U.S. attorney and a prosecutor. She was asking that man questions down. So he said that he said that she cheated. He said that everything is not on him, and that there's also a bunch of sides to the story. And so we heard last episode where Labrina asked him, so you're saying you're not the only one that cheated? She asked that man that 3 times, y'all. And so first he said yes, she did, and then he said that he found evidence of her talking to someone within the last year. And here go Labrina. The last year? The last year? I mean, I know that you cheated 16 years ago, but we're talking about last year, and she's talking about you. I don't give a darn if it was 66 years ago. He broke the marriage covenant. Now he's saying that he has evidence of her talking to someone. He ain't say he had evidence of her actually cheating. And another thing, last year were y'all even still together? Were y'all still even in the same household? Because the money issue started in what, 23? We so I don't know the timeline here, but it just seems evident to me that Labrina is, after watching this episode, Labrina nobody's friend. She's nobody's friend. I don't know what happened to sis in her lifetime, but she is very angry. I don't get it because she's a beautiful woman. She seems to have she has a beautiful home, family, husband. She has it all, but there's something in her psyche that is giving off mean girl. And when I say mean girl, I mean really mean girl. I mean like destroy mean girl. Like the look on her face at the end of the show when she was talking about Tori, I was like, ooh, she one of them. She's really, really mean. And I feel bad uh for Alana. I hope I because she is not Alana's friend. They showed a clip where last season Alana was sitting there telling her about her marriage and everything that happened, and she was crying. And Labrina's like, "Oh girl, don't make me. You gonna make me cry." So you sat there and let that lady cry to you. Now you over here basically just trying to destroy her character by having her husband sit here. And let me tell you something about Josh. I could see Josh ain't about ish just from the jump, because he gonna say, well, she's left me behind. She's left me behind. She's around here traipsing along, going on with her life. And that's the problem. He's angry that Alana is talented enough to go on with her life with her kids and be just fine, and it's burning him up. So anything that he could say to justify what he did is he's gonna do, and she falling right in line with it. And she was just too eager to get that information. Then she talks to Manera. They meet up, and I will say I like Manera. Manera seems real cool, real laid back. She reminds me of Royce from what's that show, Basketball Wives, years ago. She's cute. She reminds me of Roy. She's really pretty, and I feel like she has a. I like the way when Manera was like girl. Debria couldn't wait to tell Manera, girl, Josh. Josh say she cheated on him last year. You just gonna skip over the part where he actually said he just found evidence of her talking. He ain't actually say she, but you skipped right over that. And Monera was like, I just think they married too young, and they've been married a long time. And people grow apart. She was more level-headed about it. And but Labrina she was just like excited about the whole about her cheating, finding out something bad about Alana. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't care who disagrees. I know Labrina will probably disagree, but she's jealous of Alana. I don't know what it is. If it's because Alana is self-made, and I know she'll be. I don't have nothing to be jealous about her because I'm this and I'm that. Yeah, but when you gotta keep saying what you are and who you are, and y'all not on my level, throwing stuff out like that, then you got some issues. Okay, and I hope that Alana gets to the point where she can really tell you off. I hope she reads you like the funnies. I don't think she's gonna do it because that's just not in her nature. She's just not that type of person. But you definitely deserve to be read down because you are not her friend, and the way you're trying to destroy this lady character in the disguise of trying to get the both sides of the same story, girl, bye. That's not what you're trying to do. So next up, we see Tori and Ro. They kind of meet up and they go walking and they have like a little walk date. And so Tori was, telling Ro how good she looked and, how she was surprised when she walked into the event, how good she looked. So then they start talking about Chloe and they're both, saying, that they could tell that she was kind of sad and she wasn't her usual bubbly self. And it was because the whole situation with Jordan. And it was a whole situation with Jordan, and Tori shares with Ro that Jordan had met up with her and told her that he wanted to take it to the next level of getting married. And she was like, wait, what? Ro was like, wait, what are you talking about? And she said, yeah, girl, he said he want to get married. And so she's like, well, they definitely need to have some discussion on it. And so they also start talking about their friend group and the last time that they were all together. And do they think they can all come back together? And Tori was saying she hadn't talked to Labrina, since the last counseling session. And Ro is trying to be positive. She's like, I think we just, we're friends. This is not that serious. We should all be able to come back together. Um, so next up we see Chloe with her little girls. That's so cute. And they are working on some paintings. They're selecting some paintings for the house and stuff. And she tells them, go on upstairs. I need to talk to my friend. So she calls Jordan. And she finds out Jordan had the flu through his mom. So she says she went ahead and unblocked him because she had him blocked everywhere. And so she FaceTimes with him and to check on him and see how he's doing. And he was happy to hear from her. And she like, what you smiling for? And he's like, I'm just happy to hear from you. And he tells her that, he's sorry. He knows that she's been through a lot, opening up her heart again, after she lost her husband and making a decision to date someone who's younger than her. And she said, you know, I did unblock you just to let you know. You're unblocked on the phone. You can call. I may not answer, but at least you're not blocked. And so he said, she said, I have to check on you because I do love you. And he said, I love you too. And she said, well, I know you do, but I just don't understand why you did what you did. Because when you love someone, you don't do what you did because why that lady had your, why that lady had your security code, Jordan. Mm. Let's talk about that. So next up, we see the ladies at an event, something for some young girls. I forgot the name of the event. It's like a mentorship thing. So they all get there, and Tori, Ro, and Chloe all show up at the same time, around the same time. And then um, Alana. Oh, let me tell you about Alana. Alana, we did have a little brief um, scene with Alana. She's at her new uh, like makeup studio, and she's doing this lady's makeup. She's a NFL player's wife or NBA player's wife. They say the name, but I don't remember. And she looks really good. She says she looks happy. She feels lighter. And I'm sure she do because, that man was messing with the money. He's putting financial strain on them. She looked fabulous. She do. So, but she said she's just been trying to focus on her kids, on her business. She really hasn't had a chance to speak with the girls, and she just needed to take a break from the group, the group period, for a minute, just to kind of get herself back together. And so she wasn't at this event where the ladies were. So Manera walks in. She and her and Sabrina get there, pretty close together. They're both standing outside, and so Manera's like, we all haven't seen each other in a while. I'm a little nervous. I hope everything goes okay. And here's Sabrina. Well, I look good, so I know everything's gonna go fine. With that smug, condescending attitude she got. And so they walk in. Manera speaks to the ladies. Sabrina, she speak kinda. She kinda speak, but Manera goes up and makes an introductory speech. So then we see Chloe and Labrina talking to each other because Tori is not talking to Labrina at all. They didn't even. I don't even think they spoke to each other. I mean, they did, but it's kind of like dry. So here go Labrina. Um, I don't. I'm never talk. I'm not talking to Tori again because the whole you guys are not on my level. That was taken out of context. I meant that I've been through so much. We all been through so much, okay, Lorena? I've been through so much. And when you come from where I come from to get where I am, you have to be on a certain spiritual and mental level. And that's what I was saying. It wasn't like an insult. Girl, how you supposed to take that? In what language or what world is y'all not on my level supposed to not be a dig? I don't understand how you trying to turn this around on people and make it seem like that's not what I meant. So then she told Chloe, well, I spoke to everybody in the group about it, and I spoke to Tori. I had a conversation with her, and then she went back and said that we never spoke about it. That's not true. That's a lie. Tori said she didn't talk to that lady. So then the whole uh because Tori said she was also upset about Labrina made a comment about somebody, one of her friends, and she called the lady precious. Told you, mean girl. Labrina's a mean girl. So, girl, you should try to get on the Real Housewives of somewhere. You ain't in Atlanta. Where y'all at? Y'all in Houston. They don't have one in Houston. Well, girl, you should try to start one up or something, but you're probably not on those ladies' level. I don't know if you could do that. You're not on Bravo's level, so I don't think you can do that. Anyway, um here she go with the she's trying to assassinate my character, like you was over there trying to assassinate Tori character, girl. I mean Alana character, girl, go somewhere, Labrina. And she said I would never speak to her again, and the look on her face was like I said, she's mean. She's a little more than mean. She almost evil. She is something else. Like, girl, it's not that serious. Are you serious? Like, come on. So um, we see a scene with the ladies. They get together at Rose Place, and it's Chloe and Tori. And so they're talking about the event, the night of the event. And they get together and they're talking, and because Tori heard her. Tori heard what Labrina was saying, and she went over to one of the producers, and because she said that she's two faced. Tori is two faced and she's a liar. And she was saying it. She was saying it loud enough. She wanted her to hear. And Tori went over to one of the producers, took her mic off, and she walked out. She was like, "I'm not going to be, here while somebody's, talking about me like that." I wouldn't have left me. I don't. I really wouldn't have left. I won't. I don't care what. I wouldn't care what Labrina said. Girl, bye. Anyway, so they over to Rose house, and so they started talking about it, and um, and Chloe said she said that she never talking to you again, and Tori said that's fine. I don't want to talk to her either. She said because I heard what she said. She said I was two faced and a liar, and she never talked to me. I don't know what she talking about, but she never talked to me at all about the precious situation or about the not on my level. And so then Chloe was trying to explain to them what she said. But she said she didn't mean it like now not on my level. She was meaning it like, like like spiritually and mentally. And they just looking at her like, okay, girl. And then she said, well, Tori said, well, she said, now wait a minute. I don't know how Tori figured this out. Maybe they talked about something else. I don't know. Tori said she said, Rose, somebody said, well, Chloe, she said you the one said precious about that lady. And Chloe's like, I wouldn't say that. That's not even in my character to say that about somebody. So they the producers went back and showed when it happened. Now I watched this scene three times because I was like, let me make sure. Chloe ain't say that. Labrina said that. She definitely said it. So why would she say Chloe said that? See what I mean? Why? So now I can't trust nothing you say, Labrina, because that lady didn't say that. You said that. So now I don't believe you met with Tori. I don't believe you met with the other ladies because you are not above telling a fib. You told a fib. You didn't that. No. So Chloe wasn't really mad. She was like, they just blame stuff on me because I'm loud. But I know I didn't say that. That's not even in my character. So Ro was like, I think, I just don't understand how we got here. Like how we can't work together and um come together. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know where they're gonna go from here because Labrina is obviously Manera is kind of open to it, but then in a way, Manera girl, I I don't want to listen. I like Manera, but I just feel like she is being led by Labrina because I don't feel like them ladies did you anything for you to not be talking to them. But because she your friend, I get that. But your friend is your friend is manipulative and your friend is twisting stuff around. She trying to rewrite history. That's not the way it happened. So I don't know where they're gonna go from here. I really don't. The only way it's gonna come to a head is if um Tori and Sabrina meet together and just have it out, you know, and then maybe once they get everything out in the open, they can all come together. So the final scene, we see uh, Chloe and Jordan. Jordan has a plans a dinner for Chloe, and it's really pretty. She's dressed up. She's so pretty, and he has like all the lights and they have like everything on the floor and it's really decorated, very pretty. And so he invites her out to dinner, and she gets there. She's like, oh, and she said, who is this? All is this? Who is all this for? He said, it's for you. She said, oh, you act like you trying to get me back or something. He said, that's the goal, yeah. So they sit down and they start talking and I think what she wanted him to say right away was that, okay, I was wrong, I cheated, or she wanted him to admit that he had done wrong specifically, not just this vague, I know how hard it was for you to trust me. No, we want, did that lady had your security code? Were you cheating or not? He didn't want to talk about that, of course. He's like, I don't want to talk about that. I want us to move forward. And so she said, something about, well, like I told your mom or something. And he said, see, that's the problem right there. You talk to her mom. She said, well, I talk to her every day. I tell her everything. He said, that's the problem. You talk too much. I don't tell my mama everything. Now I will say this. So then Chloe was like, well, I don't have anybody. She's like a mother figure to me. Chloe, listen, I don't want to take up for Jordan. I don't. I don't want to take up for this man. But I understand, like he said, you don't need to. Why you got everybody in our business? Um, and that really upset him. Like you tell everything. You talk too much, and he got really upset. And she's like, well, I don't have anybody else to talk to, Chloe. You don't need to be telling the lady everything. She said you talk to the lady every day. I get that, but you need to find a friend or a counselor or somebody else to talk to, because whenever if you're trying to build a relationship with someone, and that goes for married people, or if you're seriously dating, you can't keep people, family members, in your business like that. Because what happens is y'all have a falling out, you tell them about it, and then y'all get back together, and the people still mad because of what you did. It's gonna cause disruptions. So he is right. I just don't like the way he he told her about it, but of course he immature, he young. I don't like the way, like he said, you talk too much. That's the problem. Who you talking to? Hold up. Wait a minute. Don't talk to me like that. So he gets up, he said, you know what, I'm just done with this conversation. She said, what you mean you done? You invited me out here. He said, I'm done. I don't want to talk about it. We just going around in circles. But did you but let's get back to the cheating part. Did you cheat or not? Because we need to get back to that. Because that's if I'd have been her, that's what I'd have did. See, what he did was he did the Jedi trick on her. So then he gets up, puts the slides on, he walks out, and she running behind him, Jordan, Jordan. I was like, oh no, Chloe, no, don't run behind him. If he want to go, let him walk out. Let him cool off. Jordan, don't leave. Jordan, don't leave. And so she walks out with him, and he gets in his car and he drives away. So I don't know if it's one of those. Well, he gets in the car. I don't know if it's one of those next week. Maybe hopefully he'll come back and he can have a conversation. But I did not like the way it ended. I don't know, Chloe. I mean, she says she loved him. I, I just see he's young and he has a lot to grow into, but he's still a man, and he manipulated the hell out of you. He manipulated the hell out of you, and I don't know. I think you should just move on, girl. But hey, do what you want to do. Anyway, this episode was really good. I'm gonna give it a A. I enjoyed it. Like I said, hopefully we'll see some more of Alana. I don't know, in the next coming episodes. I would like to see more of her. But it was a good episode. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. I and will talk to you guys next week. I'm out.